This is Goku Sun DBZ, and welcome back for a new top 5 creatures list. Last time I did more or less, of course, urban legend, mythical type creatures, more or less of North America. This one is specifically going to be targeted more at creatures, mythical creatures and entities of Europe. And sometime in the future, I will also do a 5 for Asia, for many Asian countries. And also one doing a combination of things of the Middle East and Africa. So, with that said, first up of 5 truly, I think, fascinating and interesting creatures of myths and legends. First up, coming in at number 5, is a creature known by many from Greek mythology. A great, well-known creature, mainly, partially, the reason why this entity or creature exists is kind of thanks to Poseidon. This creature, woman, would be turned into a monster, and so she could never truly experience love. Anytime she looks at anyone in the eyes, they turn into stone and obviously die. Known for having snakes as hair. Coming in at number 5, Medusa. Definitely very well known creature of myths and legends from Greek mythology. Coming in at number 4 is a creature known by many people who have studied different myths over the years. This being has evolved more or less through the occult, as well as paganism, and has evolved over time. Best well known for, of course, having like man's arms and stuff in like a woman's chest and a goat head. At number 4 is the creature that's better well known nowadays because of the occult, or more specifically things like the Church of Satan. And that is, of course, at number 4 is the mythical creature known as Baphomet. And yeah, it can be kind of freaky looking at the creature, even compared to other creatures of myths and legends. Baphomet is definitely a very defining looking entity from different legends. It's really evolved over time. Coming at number 3 is a creature from my Celtic heritage. Okay, still some I've never probably mentioned, my mother's side of the family is pure-blooded Irish. And I come from Celtic bloodline. So it's no surprise that I've always been so fascinated by ancient myths and legends. Part of my Celtic blood. But with that said, probably at number 3 is one of the most fascinating creatures I feel that easily came out of Celtic myths and legends. This entity was known for high-pitched screams, known for being this mythical, like, spirit of sorts, and of course taking the form of a woman. And this, coming in number 3, is the ancient Celtic being or creature known as the Banshee. Which, yes, fun fact, the Banshee comes from Celtic mythology. So that's some new, I guess, some of you out there may not know. Just a little fun fact. Coming in at number 2. There are 2 different versions of really this legend. It really would start thanks to the legends of Glad the Impaler. He would be, of course, known for torturing people with stakes, and would become even more infamous thanks to the recreation of himself thanks to Bram Stoker. Of course, Dracula. And of course, that being the vampire. With another off-type version of the vampire. Not quite the same, because this other entity or creature, like the vampire, but does not drink blood. Instead, it absorbs your life force by giving you a moment, usually, of bliss. And of course, that is another version, it's very similar to the vampire, known as the succubus. Probably in video games, better well known, the being, of course, Morrigan Ashland. Morrigan, of course, from the Darkstalkers series. And of course, Dimitri, of course, being a vampire. But obviously, when you think of vampires, you think of Dracula. And that is thanks to Bram Stoker. And of course, the ancient castle of Dracula in Transylvania. But really has grown into quite the myth and legend throughout the years. The whole tale of vampires and of Dracula himself has really become much bigger than most people could have ever expected from one simple little thing as it once was. Coming in at number 1 is quite powerful beings, of course, you could say. Great ancient myths and legends going back to the Middle and Dark Ages. More or less, really a race of mythical creatures. Were great warriors by day, or rather, great warriors by night, and stone by day. Coming in at number 1, gargoyles. One of the most fascinating creatures in ancient European myths and legends is the gargoyle. And it probably has some to do with the fact I'm a little biased because I grew up loving the show Gargoyles from Disney, which is an incredibly underrated show. It introduced me to so many myths and legends, got me obsessed over mythology, especially European mythology, over things like Druid teachings and things like entities like the King of Avalon, Lord Oberon, and of course his queen, Queen Titania, which would have many mischievous children, such as one, the mischievous god from old ancient legends in the UK, Puck, which was also in Gargoyles. With that said, this was 5 ancient mythical creatures of urban legends and ancient, rather, mythology legends from around Europe. Next time will be Asia, and then hopefully the time after that will be ancient legends of entities and creatures from the Middle East and Africa. So stay tuned for those future top 5 lists, and I'll see everyone next time. Same YouTube time, same YouTube channel. Sorry. Couldn't resist.